Hello and welcome to the Pirate Spaceship. Today, my dear viewer, I'm going to introduce you to the in-game representation of a particle effect diarrhea. "20 Minutes Till Dawn" is a roguelike bullet hell where you try to survive, at least on the surface. However, survival is only secondary. The true goal of the game is to lay as much waste to your opponents as possible in the most ridiculous and over-the-top way you can manage. As a rule of thumb, if you can tell what's happening on the screen, you're just not doing it right. What are you trying to survive, you're asking? An onslaught of Lovecraftian monsters in the middle of what looks like a creepy park. Basically, this is the experience of UK parks at night, except instead of knives,
Let me see what you have! No!
these monsters have tentacles. The gist of the game is, chavs charge you in the park, you shoot them, collect whatever drugs they had on them, the drugs make you spastic, which lets you shoot them more efficiently. Then you rinse and repeat this formula for about 20 minutes, unless you die first. When you die, you get points, which you invest in upgrades, which hopefully cover up your lack of skill, and then you go once more from the start. Don't get discouraged if you die. Even if you die often. Doing well requires skill, understanding of the mechanics so you can make good builds, and possibly some brain damage, so you can make out what the hell is happening on your screen. And you can get to all of these by ignoring your worldly responsibilities and accepting that destroying visual representations of ones and zeros brings more dopamine and endorphins than engaging with the real world could ever do. So, you start by selecting one of 12 colorful characters. Well, colorful in their abilities, as there is very little color variation in the game. These characters are obviously new to the UK, as when you first come, it might seem like a reasonably good idea to go through a park at night. You know, you think it's a shortcut. And well, it is. But it's a shortcut to death. Each character has a specialty and a character-specific upgrade that you get by defeating elite enemies. We have Shana, whose specialty is being enlightened? Well, no matter how enlightened and beyond the mortal plane you are, the Cthulhu Jr. over here can evict your soul, and the only place you'll be ascending to are the clouds that cover the British Isles. Don't get fooled by fancy names like Ascension. Godhood is overrated. The real thing you want when playing Shana is specialize. This skill right here, with some blessings from RNG Jesus, can specialize you all the way to becoming a winner. Testosterone, I mean diamond, distills what it means to be a gym bro. Never being happy with your size, always chasing the look of your pump. I heard there's a final form of diamond living in Greece. And yeah, with her, the bigger and more hurt you get, the more ass you will kick. Scarlet really cares about hygiene. Well, what better way to clean the world of dirt than setting it on fire?
Burn them in flame! Burn in holy fire!
Hina will make getting lost in the varied color scheme a little bit more forgiving with her dash. Well, that is until you dash straight into those tentacles. Spark lets you process large amounts of data. Hold up. Wrong Spark. Spark uses the power of lightning. With Spark, you want to fire fast. You could say lightning fast. Until what's happening on your screen becomes about as comprehensible as some of the shit I say. Lilith summons spirits out of your dead enemies to make, well, you guessed it, even more dead enemies. Lilith harnesses the power of compounding mechanisms. Lovecraftian horrors don't want you to know this one little trick. Dead monsters create more dead monsters until you become a dead monster billionaire. Abby's ability might sound stupid at the first glance. She can quickly shoot the remaining ammo from her magazine. Well, it sounds stupid only if you're trying to think of it rationally. Once you abandon all reason and embrace the insanity,
Abandon reason! No, only war!
it starts making sense. With Abby, you can become a portable carpet bombing. You can continue rapidly dumping your hot explosive load until there's nothing left of your enemies. The ultimate 200 IQ play is taking Abby with the grenade launcher. You see, the grenade launcher can hurt you as well. However, you can achieve true greatness only by risking everything. Yuki sends out a frozen butterfly on every 6th shot. And that's cute. Luna creates black holes by reloading. And the hole is actually so strong that it sucked away all the jokes I had for this, and well, this bullshit is all that was left. Hastur used to be a chav as well, but made it out and now works in the Japanese animated adult video industry, dishing out tentacle punishments. Raven summons crows. Wait. What? Can someone explain this to me? I know most of this doesn't make sense, like monsters and everything, but why does a character called Raven summon crows? Wouldn't it make more sense for her to summon, well, I don't know, ravens? She's basically Edgar Allan Poe, except blackbirds are confusing. And finally, there's Dasher. She transforms into a deer after 25 kills, because nothing brings out the inner deer as killing a bunch of tentacled monsters. After picking your character, you can also select some runes. There's 24 of them, and for the sake of yours and my sanity, I'm not going through all of them. These runes are what you can upgrade between your runs to make you stronger, and they can help make your character more overpowered, or just to fit it better to your playstyle. Next you pick your weapon. The choice of weapon should follow from what character you picked, to an extent. There's a choice of 8 weapons, and you want your weapon to maximize your bullet health potential. If your eyes are not tired after playing, well, there's just something wrong. Or actually you just might be healthy and there's something wrong with my eyes. Then you select the map you want to play. The UK is a diverse place, and you can get shanked in places other than parks. The maps are the regular park with trees, the historical park for more sophisticated crime, and the Halloween park, in case you're feeling festive. The enemies you encounter differ between all of these maps. In total, there are 21 enemies that you can encounter between the various maps. Each map spawns only specific enemies. Just to give you an example, some of the enemies are Cthulhu Jr., 3 ice cream scoops, Forbidden Flashlight, and oh dear god, that thing is jacked. Lastly, you select the game mode and the difficulty. Or rather, you can select it after you've managed to beat the previous difficulties, at least once. Each one of them will make beating the round more challenging. The difficulty jumps can be a bit uneven at times, so when you find a good build, you might first find yourself cruising through rather easily, only to hit a wall a bit later. However, it's a solid progression system. In terms of game modes, you have the base 20-minute mode, which takes you through the full experience of surviving when you encounter all the enemies and basically see what the game has to offer. Then there's the 10-minute mode, which is nice when you have just a little bit of time to kill. And the endless mode, for when you decide that you have too much time on your hands anyway, and any other activities you could be doing are not as important as straining your eyes, frying your brain, and raking up those sweet scores. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what you pick, you will keep telling yourself and your loved ones, just 20 more minutes. Hopefully you have no important deadlines, as it will be hard leaving. When it comes to graphics, the design is great and the game looks good, especially if you're into this pixelated look. I mentioned the color scheme before, and while I made fun out of it, it actually fits very nicely with the aesthetic and the vibe of the game. There are times when it becomes a bit confusing, and with the addition of the red projectiles in the game, the chaos can get a bit overbearing at times. There is a setting that you can change, which gives outline to every object in the world to improve the visibility. I recommend that you turn that on if it's not on by default. The audio is okay, though I will be honest, most of the time I have music blasting or some sort of Siri playing in the background when I play this. The music is nice, it fits the style, well, just like everything else. What I have to mention is the great use of audio clues to describe the state of the game. For example, there is a little sound when using the crossbow weapon that lets you know that it's fully charged. In my opinion, that's brilliant, and this sort of clever design should be praised. Last aspect I'd like to cover is the development of the game, as this is an early access title. Earlier, I mentioned the outline to improve visibility of objects. This feature was added a little bit after I purchased the game, and was added because of frequent requests from the players for better visibility in the game. The developer is proactive, balances the game, adds new content, and, as I mentioned, takes the feedback of the community to heart and provides quality of life improvements based on this. Overall, I think they have a great approach and they deserve every bit of success they get. Overall, if you like bullet hell and roguelike games, I say go for this. It provides a rewarding gameplay, a lot of interesting combinations to explore, and it doesn't require a substantial time commitment. You can grab this game on Steam for a $5, and at that price, it's a really great deal. If you made it all the way here, thank you for watching. We appreciate every single one of you. Tell us your thoughts in the comments about the video, the game, or any other game you'd like to see covered, and consider subscribing for more similar content. I'll see you next time. Till then, have a good one.